Good morning and welcome to the Monday Morning Message for Beautiful Leaders. I'm Toby Tompkins. I'm the CEO of Safio, and thank you for joining me again. I hope you had a great weekend, and I hope your week in front of you is going to be filled with lots of success and prosperity. Today, I want to talk about leading from the inside out. As leaders, we are often challenged with decisions that we have to make because it's what's expected of us, because of the commitments that we've made, the promises that we've made, the external forces that are bearing down upon us based on our role or our position or our authority. And we step into those roles and we're evaluated based upon our ability to deliver, to respond in a timely and appropriate way to those external expectations and commitments and forces. But sometimes life throws us a curveball and we find ourselves in a situation where we actually have to respond to not what's on the outside, but what's on the inside. And in those kinds of moments as leaders, most particularly as beautiful leaders, we have to abandon the same sort of yardstick that we use to measure what it means to be a good leader. And we have to go within. And it puts in front of the leader the question of, who am I? How might the decision that I'm about to make be the greatest reflection of who others who really know me to be? I recently had to make a decision to cancel a trip that I had been planning for quite some time. It was a business trip. I had a lot to get done. I'd been waiting because of the pandemic. I had meetings set up, and I was feeling very behind because of the pandemic. But while I was literally hours from getting on the plane, I was faced with another decision that challenged me to think about my leadership from within. And that was the fact that someone who I know and cared about very deeply was sitting in a hospital room in what was still a foreign country, recovering from a nearly fatal automobile accident. And while I had done everything that I could do to help that person up until that moment, I didn't feel that I could sacrifice the business trip that I had been taking so much time and put so much time in planning until we got right down to the time to pack my clothes, because I wait till the last minute, of course. And as I began to pack my clothes to head to the airport in a few hours, my body tensed up. I literally felt like I was having an anxiety attack. And in that moment, I knew that I was being called to make a decision from the inside out and not a decision that reflected what commitments I had made to the world from the outside in. But I had to make a decision that reflected the commitment of who I know myself to be and who I want to be in the world. And so, at great expense, potentially, at least so I thought, I canceled my flight. I canceled 3 hotels. I canceled meetings, et cetera, thinking that I was going to have to take a big financial hit. And the airlines issued me a full refund, and each of the hotels canceled my reservation and issued a full refund. And I was able to stay and focus on what really mattered, which was my role as an advocate for the healthcare of this person who was in a hospital and not really able to advocate for themselves. An important lesson was that once I made the decision from the inside out, the stress that I was feeling in my body dissipated. It went away. And I knew that I had made the right decision, even though I had to deal with the fact that I had the external forces and the external expectations to reconcile. But in the end, everything worked out. Those were meetings. Sorry, I'm in New York, folks, so you're going to hear the sirens. Those meetings can be rescheduled. Those flights and hotel reservations can be rebooked. But if something had happened, if I had not made a decision that I made from the inside out, and something had happened to that person in the hospital while I was traveling in another country, that was something that I couldn't rebook. So sometimes as beautiful leaders, we are called upon to make decisions from the inside out. They're not easy decisions. Nobody can make them for us. And we and only we can stand in the face of the consequences and the benefits. So my lesson, always make the decision from the inside out. The world will adjust and the world will accommodate. All right, I hope that's helpful, and I hope someone this week may be facing a similar situation and wondering what to do, and perhaps my experience can inform your decision. Have a great week. If you have any questions, Ask Toby at Safio, and we may consider your question for our Thursday session. Thank you very much.